Joshua 6. The gates of the city of Jericho were closed. The people in the city were afraid because the Israelites were near. No one went into the city, and no one came out. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "Look, I will let you defeat the city of Jericho. You will defeat the king and all the fighting men in the city. March around the city with your army once every day for 6 days. Tell 7 of the priests to carry trumpets made from the horns of male sheep, and to march in front of the priests who are carrying the holy box. On the 7th day, march around the city 7 times, and tell the priests to blow the trumpets while they march. They will make one loud noise from the trumpets. When you hear that noise, tell all the people to begin shouting. When you do this, the walls of the city will fall down, and your people will be able to go straight into the city." The battle against Jericho. So Joshua, son of Nun, called the priests together and said to them, "Carry the holy box of the Lord. Tell 7 priests to carry the trumpets and march in front of it." Then Joshua ordered the people, "Now go, march around the city. The soldiers with weapons will march in front of the holy box of the Lord." After Joshua finished speaking to the people, the 7 priests with the trumpets began marching before the Lord, blowing the trumpets as they marched. The priests carrying the holy box followed them. The soldiers with weapons marched in front of the priests who were blowing the horns, and the rest of the men walked behind the holy box, marching and blowing their trumpets. Joshua had told the people not to give a war cry. He said, "Don't shout, don't say a word until the day I tell you. Then you will shout." So Joshua made the priests carry the holy box of the Lord around the city 1 time. Then they went back to camp and spent the night there. Early the next morning, Joshua got up, and the priests carried the holy box again. The 7 priests with the trumpets marched in front of the Lord's holy box, blowing their trumpets. The soldiers with weapons marched in front of them. The rest of the people marched behind the Lord's holy box. During the whole time they marched, the priests were blowing the trumpets. On the 2nd day, they all marched around the city 1 time, and then they went back to the camp. They continued to do this every day for 6 days. On the 7th day, they got up at dawn and marched around the city 7 times. They marched in the same way that they marched on the days before, but on that day they marched around the city 7 times. The 7th time they marched around the city, the priests blew their trumpets. Then Joshua gave the command, "Now shout! The Lord is giving you this city. The city and everything is to be destroyed as an offering to the Lord. Only Rahab, the prostitute, and everyone in her house will be left alive. These people must not be killed because she helped the 2 spies. Remember, we must destroy everything else. Don't take anything. If you take anything and bring it into our camp, you yourselves will be destroyed, and you will cause trouble for the rest of our people. All the things made from silver, gold, bronze, and iron belong to the Lord. They must be put in the Lord's treasury." So then the priests blew the trumpets. When the people heard the trumpets, they began shouting. The walls fell down, and the people ran up into the city. So the Israelites defeated that city. The people destroyed everything in the city. They destroyed everything that was living there. They killed the young and old men, the young and old women, and the cattle, sheep, and donkeys. Joshua talked to the 2 spies. He said, "You made a promise to the prostitute. Go to her house and bring her out, and all those who are with her." So the 2 men went into the house and brought out Rahab, her father, mother, brothers, all her family, and all those who were with her. They put all the family in a safe place outside the camp of Israel. Then the Israelites burned the whole city and everything in it, except for the things made from silver, gold, bronze, and iron. They put these things in the Lord's treasury. Joshua saved Rahab the prostitute, her family, and all those who were with her. Joshua let them live because Rahab helped spies Joshua had sent out to Jericho. Rahab still lives among the Israelites today. At that time, Joshua made this important promise. He said, "Whoever rebuilds Jericho will be in danger from the Lord. When he lays the foundation, he will lose his oldest son. When he sets up the gates, he will lose his youngest son." So the Lord was with Joshua, and Joshua became famous throughout the whole country.